Hello, everyone. Today is November 20th, 4 o'clock, school board meeting. We're gonna open the meeting right now and do an agenda review. Anything to add to the agenda?
No.
Agenda is good. I just got the all set, thumbs up, so I can be here, all right.
Good.
So we're gonna read the minutes out loud, but we're gonna approve the minutes. Oh. They want to speak up, a motion, that we accept as drafted.
I second the motion.
Any discussion on this? Still not. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Rich, how are you doing?
Hi, Rich.
Cannot hear you, Rich.
Hello, how is everybody doing?
No. We're privileged to the floor, and it looks like you're it.
I have nothing, thank you.
Arnold.
Here we are. So for the school safety update, most of those are pretty consistent to what you've seen, except for on Halloween. Due to a possible hazmat situation in town square. We did put the school in a hazmat shelter in place. So we had everybody come into this room. And we taped up the windows. The kids still do have access to the bathrooms. Once everything's taped and secure, and we showed a movie until I heard from Chief Pear that it was safe to resume back to the classroom.
Yeah.
So the kids did great. There was some technical difficulties getting notifications out to parents right away. But they were all notified, I would say within 10 minutes of us going into the shelter.
What was the notification mechanism?
So we were using Alma, which we use as a
Student information system.
so like we use it frequently, but I had everything up in there. And you have two options to send an email or to text. So I had everything written for the email, and then I copied it, so then I could also send it as a text message. But when I copied it, it didn't copy correctly, so it sent out a blank response to all families, and I had titled it like, "We are safe."
Oh, boy.
Which
is good.
Which is weird, but then I went to send it as a text message and it wouldn't allow me because there was no subject area. So it was just, so I was on the phone with our tech person at the SAU office. And so she kind of helped me troubleshoot that, so it has been solved. If there's ever a situation again, how we can get that out. And then we use School Messenger where I would record my voice to get out to families so they can actually hear a person through a phone call. But I had no list in there and I couldn't get any information out to anybody. So we also have problem solved a few times.
We just moved to the Alma system this year, so it's our first, so there has been bugs, there should not have been bugs, but there has been, so. we troubleshoot things like this as it comes up.
So I did get like a longer notification of the parent after I realized that the first email didn't go through, kind of explaining what was going on. I heard from one parent who had texted me and was like, I'm going to be that parent. Do you need anything? This is what's going on. I said, we're good. And then I had one parent who I saw through the camera system, waiting at the front door. And I just said, right now, I'm working on getting everybody in place. And I'm not doing this myself this time. She's like, I'm just dropping off Halloween stuff. I'm like, okay. But outside of that, I would say everything went really smoothly. The rec department was in here with us. We have now added them to our emergency calls. So they can get it on their phones as well. For information.
When my children were young and in the school, I mean, it's a small school, we have a voluntary. So, and it really only went down to 4 people each because this school is so small.
Yeah.
That could be a backup if something goes wrong to say, okay, we're gonna, it's 2 calling trees.
Yeah.
And you know, I was first and I had to call Lynn Morey. Lynn Morey then had to call Lori Fernandez. And Lori
Absolutely.
Fernandez had to call the last person. And that was it for that. That's
Yeah.
that leg of the tree.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah, no, as a backup, that's a good.
for a school this small, I think, you know, that's not gonna work for Plymouth. But this school this small, it could be a backup.
So I've had a PTO meeting since then. I thank them for their patience and support. And they're like, yeah, you had it, you're over it. So it was nice to hear that too, like they got the messages. I had one mom reply back just saying like, I think you need more to this message. And then that was as the other one was going out. It was great. She's like, oh, there it is. Thank you.
Did you see I sent the October Woodbine for November?
Yeah, I saw that.
And then I hit the number of email limit that you could do. So I had 50 people send me emails saying I got October and I couldn't reply to them.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
So this stuff happens.
It does.
Yes.
So like we use it as a learning experience and kind of how we know to send a text message, how we have to go through that. Like I said, the kids did great. They were cute. They were like, well, when can we go? So I had to explain like, I don't make that call.
Right.
And we're being here for a while and they watched their movie and then we went back and continued the day like nothing had happened. So. Recently we did our Veterans Day ceremony. We had about 10 veterans.
Wow.
Kevin Morse was our guest speaker, who was also a student here back in the day. And then it's just fun to watch how the younger kids get involved. In performing. And then for our vision and mission, I sent out Google Forms. And I sent them out to the school board and all families. We got 12 responses. They were thoughtful responses. We did use, Tim had suggested the SWOT model. So we're gonna be going through that information on our next vision and mission meeting on the. And our robotics and drones is going well. There's a possible competition that's gonna happen in January at elementary school.
That is confirmed. Yep.
So we're just, once I get the date, I'll certainly let you know. We do have a team that wants to do that. So we'll be looking to bring that team forward to it.
The date is going to be January, I believe, 30.
I'll be gone.
It's gonna be a Friday, I mean, a Sunday.
And then in the spring, I've been talking to Kate Evans, and how to get the younger students involved. And trying, I talked to Sandra about seeing how we could make it work with after school as well. And what.
It's gonna actually be the 31st, which is a Saturday. We had to go on Sunday, it was gonna be the week before. We could use help with that. It's the first time that we've done that competition at the elementary level. We've done one at the high school now for going on 4 years. So any parents that would be interested in being a judge, any students that want to help reset fields, parent donations for any baked goods, we'll give information as it gets closer.
Fun to have that back up and running, and the kids are definitely working hard and they're motivated and. We've had some kids like leave for appointments at the end of the day, but then they come back for the George class. Yeah, there's a slew of dates. If anybody wants to come to the Q and U wedding, they're getting married on November 26th. I can get you the time, Karen. I'm gonna do that wedding every 3 years. Letters queuing you, but Q always has to be with you.
Oh.
It's a big deal.
Now I get it. Very cute.
I bet you they love that.
Oh, yeah, like we get wedding cake and like it's a big deal here.
It's a big deal.
3 years.
So,
Big deal.
so
Send out
what about Cutter?
invitations to the school board.
What?
What about Cutter? QATAR, the country.
Yeah, there's exceptions to everything. In general. And then the pancake breakfast is December 20th. It is not a school day. That is a Saturday. We will be doing it here at the school. Kate's gonna be here and middle school's on board. They're excited. They're using it as a fundraiser for their field trip. The timing of like the specific time is still being narrowed down on how they best want to make that work. Tyler Durham recommended that we could just tie the pancake plates to this, the bikers. And they could eat while they bike, because he has a class in the gym about that. Or you guys can move the class from here. So they're excited for that. And on the back is our numbers. They haven't changed since our last meeting. The only thing that changed is I just put the total tuition counts on the bottom.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Any questions? Can I move on? You missed privileges before one, you wanted.
Don't have anything, but urgent, no.
We're gonna do one. We're gonna talk about the 2025 tax rate, which I thought was in the minutes.
We actually were given a handout for this that I wanted to share with you. So this is from Mr. Rossner and it's November 6th, 2025 memo with the tax rate.
So just to be clear, it's town, school, state is swept, I would believe, right?
Mhm.
So school is buying $2.12. Which was all discussed in that November wig bag that you eventually got.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is the combined. Thank you for this. Any discussion on this? Other than the fact that we do a really good job. We're the only town in the state where the school is lower than the municipal. That was part of my research last month. We're the only one.
Say that again. We're the only.
We're the only town in the state where the school's tax rate is less than the municipal tax rate, municipal being the town tax. Most others, the school is at least as much, but more likely 2 to 3 dollars. So that's why we employ a low tax rate here in Waterville Valley. It's not because the municipal is low, it's because the school is low. So thanks you all for helping.
There we go.
Okay, we're gonna look at the CIP.
Yes, so I wanted to bring the CIP back to you and to bring attention to it because we've had particularly the HVAC projects on the CIP previously for a number of years at 105,000. And there was another HVAC project going on in our SAU that ended up having a much higher price. So I pushed facilities to say, I want a requote because that's been at 105 on our CIPs for at least 5 years, which made me uncomfortable. So I pushed them to reach out to our engineer to get new information. And the pricing now reflects the 9, there's 7 units that are here, excuse me, it's 7 units. And the price would be broken out over those 3 years, so it's more expensive. Well, I want to speak about the quote. So this was a new price based on the engineering that's done by Charles Buckley. And then we quoted with our current vendor. What I'm gonna recommend is that this project would start, or we have it in the CIP for 28, 29. And I actually recommend that we follow a full bid process and go with a redesign or have the redesign, a designing component as part of the bid, because what is starting to happen and what we're seeing with a lot of the HVAC projects that have been done most recently, and many of them were done through the ESSER projects because they were actually able to be paid through ESSER. Unfortunately, Waterville didn't get any ESSER money because you're not a Title I eligible school, and that's how the state calculated ESSER money. We found that if you're not having the same company do the engineering of the project and the work of the project, what was happening was there was one thing that might have been off in the design, and then the company that was doing the installation of the work was saying, we've got a problem and it's not our problem. So we really would like to go out to bid for the project in its entirety, even though we have a quote as a placeholder from the engineer that we've been using here for the original ones that were done. I mean, Mr. Buckley's been the engineer for a lot of the projects for many years, is to do a quote and do an RFP process prior to the 28, 29 timeframe.
Are we gonna see, it's coming up next year, obviously, so we have a little time here, but an evaluation of what our current units are and how they are performing.
Absolutely, yep, yep. So that would be, that is something that we want to find out. And with you'll notice on the bottom, I did include, that, they were installed in 2005, so they're coming up to, you know, the timeframe.
Yeah.
Were they all done in 2005?
2 units were replaced in 2019 for the multi-purpose room, but they were all done in 2005 or 2005.
There's 7 units.
So,
So wait a minute. 2 units were replaced
in
6 years
2019,
ago,
yeah.
and the others were replaced
So-
in 2005.
20, yeah.
That's what you're saying.
So we have 9, so we have 9 total units, but 7 are the ones that have to be
We
replaced.
have 9.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's
Seven.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Now it makes more sense.
Right, and I do want to tell you, because I was in your shoes, I'd be asking the question as to what our retained balance is, because that's part of the factor, right? And
No,
what was that?
maybe 80s.
78,179, yeah,
Well, why not? More.
yeah,
Okay.
so we'll talk about some, I mean, some strategies to possibly pay for that first year. Or go ahead and put the whole project out. Do a warrant article.
My personal gut is that about $80,000 for simplicity is what I consider a rainy day fund.
Mhm. Yep.
And I personally believe in rainy day funds. And we should sit here and say, okay, that is there just in case. And there's no reason why, based on our ability to cost things out, there is no reason to touch that rainy day fund just in case something happens. Right?
As part of this, it'd be good to know where we sit on our current bond. I can't remember, I mean,
Yep.
we did the signing, I can't remember, 4 years ago, 2 years ago.
I can have that for you next month.
Because that'll tell us what that bond is, because that will help us decide if we want to get another bond or not. And what that would do to our payment. So.
Yeah.
bonds.
We also, well, we're talking about 2 years from now, right? Which also means we have to worry about what the interest rate might be. Right at that time.
Sure.
First,
Right, but I wanted to,
And if we are gonna bond it, maybe we do it all in 1 year.
that's right,
That's what I
Yeah.
was gonna say.
Right.
Yep.
I
I mean-
would just
That's what I'm more inclined to.
do the bonding for $450,000 and be done. Right.
and I put it out here over the 3 years because that's simply what you've seen. And so I wanted to really give you an updated price over the time frame that was on the CIP before.
So we have any what's problems? Yeah, HVACs.
No,
Right,
No.
so this is just a placeholder. Our current bond payment is $40,000. So the question is, what's the term of it, or how, I think the term is 30 years.
Yeah, I'll get an
I
update
just don't
on
know
that.
how far we are, 2 years in or 4 years?
But theoretically, we should be able to bond that additional
Yeah.
amount, I think,
Yeah,
without problem.
So that was because I had that new information, I knew it didn't impact right now, but. I do know that there's a lot of considerations between the school and the town side. I wanted to bring that new information
yeah,
to.
they have a big town thing coming up, so we need to be a little,
You
back
think?
around that.
And you'll notice that the year prior, on 27-28, there is a $12,000 amount listed there for the design work for HVAC replacement. That's there only because if you end up wanting to go with a company that doesn't include the design work as part of the project overall, then you have, and that's how it's been done in the past, that's why it's there, but if it is one company that does the design, that includes the design work in their overall cost, which most of them will, you wouldn't need that separate 12,000, it would be part of the project. Oh, yeah. That might be nice, right? Any questions at all on that?
We have nothing down there for technology but for 10 years.
Well, we've been putting the technology into the regular budget,
Regular
so,
budget.
yeah. So, I mean, it's not, for the size of our school, not too much, but I do want to talk with her about the servers, because I'm not happy having that not on here.
How many servers do we have?
I would have to ask her, I think one.
I thought it was 2.
Print service backup to.
Yeah. And how much they running today?
Services are $4,000,
Yeah, they're not a lot of money.
but cloud's already an option.
Yeah,
Maybe. Okay, moving on. Middle school triple wheels. More like classes.
Yeah, it's our plan.
are they all going down head first on the,
We're gonna go bobsled.
down the bobsled head first?
So we did this trip 4 years ago.
Lindsay goes first?
Right. Fast was first. That's nice.
Thank you.
So it's with the same tour company, we had great luck with them 3 years ago. The trip includes everything except for if kids want to purchase any items at like a gift shop. Meals and lodging is included. Right now, we're looking at 10 students. And I have to reach out to so in the past, I've done 8th grade parents. We have 4 8th grade parents, so I have to see if they're all interested in going.
Well, I apologize.
Yep.
There are 11 kids, one is not going.
One is in the process of moving to Plymouth,
Oh, good.
but they're in our account because they are still enrolled here.
Okay,
So 10 students. Right now, it would be 6 chaperones. But if all 4 8th grade parents want to go, it would just be, I would not go, Kate would go, and Karen Vanmore is an 8th grade parent. So we would still have 2 from the school. Because paying for 6 additional 6 chaperones with only 10 kids going really increases prices for sure the students. And that's not what we're looking to do.
Funded by the PTO,
It is not fully funded by PTO.
how much?
I have to go back to them because they have on one of their spreadsheets a low amount, Then I'm going to ask for 8,000.
Yeah, I can ask 8,000 for. And what's the remainder?
We are gonna use some refunds.
Yeah.
From a grant. And then we had money left over from the middle school. The middle school line item in our budget, there's a activity fund. We have about $1,000 in that. And we'll do the pancake breakfast and any other fundraisers. My goal is to get the price per student. Similar to what it was last year, around $400 or less. Our biggest price is transportation.
So if the PTO is doing 8,000 and you have to regrant it 1,000, what are you suggesting that we're, what's the total trip cost?
Oh, it's anywhere from, on the low side, it is 17,500 to 17,500, and on the high side, 18,500. Now it's gonna
Pretty
depend,
narrow range.
well, because they break it down into doubles and triple runs, so like it's very generalized idea, but like if I don't have one of the chaperones go, or depending on triple and double rooms, because we don't have even numbers. In the past, parents would rather have a double or a triple room than a quad. And are okay with paying a little bit more for their kids to have them like that.
So this is, remind me of the trips.
So we have Washington DC, they
That's-
went last year,
That's the big trip.
and then Lake Placid. And then 2 years ago, we went to Cape Cod.
Okay, fine.
I don't know if we are repeating that same exact trip or doing a different global trip. Because Kim was helped to get that situated with some connections she knew on the charter boats, so. It was a good choice.
Comments, Ivan?
Actually, transportation is the highest cost, and how much of the cost is transportation?
I don't have the complete breakdown, but that's when I've talked to her, I did talk to another agent, and it's transportation. The coach bus, the driver, the fuel.
Last night at another meeting that I attended, for 14 students, so, you know, small amount. They had 3 quotes on, coach buses, because you can't get the school buses for the dates for the period of time. And all the quotes were between 6,500 and 7,300, so
Where were they going?
they're going, to whitewater rafting up to the Kennebec River.
That's not,
I mean-
that's not right.
Would it be possible to use a rec bus?
Too many kids
And
and 6 chaperones. Cause we did think about that. And it's a long trip to ask chaperones to drive 4.5 hours. Cause we used the rec bus last year, really nicely, got up really early and drove into the airport. So we did think about that, cause number of students wise, we could do that, but it has that much.
You need 6 chaperones, 10 kids.
So we don't need 6 chaperones.
But the first.
But in the past, parents are interested in going, so I've left it to 8th grade parents to be able to go, so it happened when I started here. Because all of the parents wanted to go, because we went to DC and I had just started. And I wasn't one to just to go and pick and choose who was going and who wasn't, so I've just done 8th grade parents. To go. I don't know if all of them want to go. Like, obviously not both mom and dad, but. I still have to reach out to them.
An option, that I'm wondering is, a small, like a 15-passenger type van, and then another vehicle that would be able to take luggage. So you could have the kids with a few adults on the van, and then have the other vehicle, a larger van or, you know,
Truck.
large size SUV, take the luggage and the remaining adults. That's what they're gonna look into at the other school, because it might save a couple $1,000.
it's all depending on the cost of the transportation, but
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can
Just to
reach
make
out to
sure,
her, yeah.
yeah.
apparently, did a team put cargo They take it out to Boston for pretty inexpensive.
$150.
We just throw the kids in the back of that.
Load in the back.
We need to cover mileage for a second, you know, the second vehicle.
We do have a 15 passenger van and a trailer. Bike trailer. So if you could get it down to 5. Well, if you could get it down to 5 chaperones, one of which would be the rec driver. Then,
Yeah, if I could get myself not to go, which I'm happy to stay back or go, and then if I can get the age group parent, that would be my biggest. That's a good option.
Yeah, I think the idea is find out how much the cost of the transportation really is.
Yeah.
That way that it gets the differences and put in front of the parents.
Yeah.
And the other thought, the other side that seems like we battle now is what's the PPO balance, you know?
Off the top of my head, no, I do know that there is funds in there to pay 8,000. There has been another large shift in our PTO. And they are very involved in raising money.
So historically, I want to talk about, you were here, the whole entire point was that DC trip. And every year, we would bring that budget that to about $1,000. So it was $1,000, $1,000, and then that big trip. So that big trip just devastated, but we were, these smaller trips, there's PTO was heavily involved in all of it. So we, if I recall, I was on the school board, I don't think we ever paid any money. So
And I did bring them to have this conversation.
you remember this, right? I don't think the school board ever, I don't think.
Oh, no, I don't know, I was gonna say the parents always paid, I think you paid up to $400 for some trips per student.
Right, $400 for a student. right?
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Yeah, but we're talking 20 years.
I know.
Right? So that's a much different $400,
Well,
you know.
it is,
years ago, or
yes.
10 years ago.
And I brought it to the school board, I mean, to, the PTO. They're not a band, paying anything, in all honesty.
Yeah.
The one thing
They
is-
We never had parents going there.
They
Yeah,
don't, they're not interested and. They don't understand why are we raising money for just middle schoolers when our kids are young.
Which that was the frustration our whole entire time, but you kind of look forward to it. You paid your dues early to do all that.
So we have a very young PTO. It's a K1 with one middle school parent. And it was pretty stagnant the last 2 years. Just kind of. They're positive, supportive, but not a go-getter. So just kind of sad. It was like a fear to get that bottom line low. They didn't want to do that. Like I said, there's a much different vibe this year. I mean, it is an extreme 180 to where we were. And they are ready to, like, they're out there, they're trying to raise funds, they're trying to figure out what is the purpose of it.
That's the whole thing.
The other
What's
day
the
they
purpose of
wanted,
raising funds?
well, not just that, but what is the purpose of the PTO?
Right,
So they wanna like be able to give back to the kids, or they did they called it a sip and paint, I had to make sure it was juice boxes. Laugh, but it's true. During one of the days, it didn't have school bus restart. So parents could drop their kids off, they could paint, and kind of how we can move forward and get the middle school students involved in something like that to help raise funds, kind of like they did last night at the community dinner, be a part of that fundraising. Instead of the same group of parents going out and trying to raise money. So we're working on kind of making that shift, and I think with a shift, having middle school more involved, it'll be easier for some to wrap their heads around where the money. So.
so so it's May, so we have time
To,
we're discussing this now, but you're going back to, we're gonna try to figure out kind of transportation options.
Yeah.
Like, a little bit cheaper.
yeah,
So you're being the school board, you're asking us for funds.
No, I'm asking for your approval for us to
Approval
go.
for
I'm not asking.
I'm not asking for
Okay.
money, I'm asking for the approval for us to go on this trip.
Right.
overnight.
Yeah, okay, so I have no issue with that.
Right, but then,
It's the
she
fun.
didn't ask us for money.
No, I'm not asking for money.
So basically, the motion that you're looking for, I think, is, I move that we approve the middle school trip to,
Like classic.
Lake Placid.
Yep,
Because it's an overnight trip.
Second.
We need the school board's approval.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any discussion on this?
I think we just had.
Well, I like this kind of thing.
Yeah, fine.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll also look into the fine details, but at least I know we can move forward.
Yeah, absolutely,
Okay,
absolutely.
next item is, the great YouTube replacement.
Yes, okay, I am. Don't necessarily like opening up my email, but I need the link. Because it's not live, so hopefully there won't be anything in here that's, yeah. There is, I'll jet out of this real quick.
That's your stick.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I borrowed it.
Good stuff on it?
They're relatively inexpensive.
I have like 30 at home, but I gotta pick them up and I'm like, oh, I want a stick. And people would stuff them.
Okay, so we've been obviously kicking around the idea of having the school board meetings on YouTube so that they can be viewed whenever anybody wants to in the community. So I worked with Dan Salzer, who is the instructor at Plymouth Regional High School that does the digital media and video courses. He's also employed or also works for Pemmy Baker TV. So Pemmy Baker TV does support school boards for the town of Plymouth, both on the school side as well as the select board side. They also do the Ashland supporting and hosting. So this is what it would look like. I met with him and he was very kind to give us a link to view ahead of time. This is what the page would look like. And this is an example of what one would look like. There's Rich.
Yay.
Hey, your mic.
Don't wanna take and kick this so that it,
Today is Thursday, October 23rd, 2025. This is the school board director meeting, Saturday, 4:01. Anything to add to the agenda?
voting on November 4th.
We can discuss that, we have no vote. I propose anything.
Verify.
You know, I'm not gonna be here, and that's just YouTube, so,
It's just YouTube.
yeah, so it's fine, I mean.
So that's
We
what
have
it
our,
looks like.
we have our own landing page, the important part is that, all of them date, so it's so they're easy to find. And
Correct.
Waterville School Board, here's the date, school board, here's the date, just, the important part is that it's a specific date, so that way if people wanna
Right.
see what happened, they can look at each one.
And I'll talk to him about moving, like shifting this 9 down so the dates.
Yeah.
You know, it's a formatting thing. It's small.
Return, yeah.
Yeah,
Could you ask them to put the logo instead of the name looking both? For the. school?
absolutely. Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
You think that's a bean or?
Look at it.
Well, we do have a beautiful new,
We're very, very-
really, very,
It's a really
Yeah.
nice looking wall.
I understand. Thanks.
So the cost of this is a $300 annual fee to be able to host this. I think that's pretty reasonable, but
Yeah,
that's
pretty simple.
up to you. So
Yes,
I move we, accept the, Henry Baker TV's proposal to, put our meetings on.
Stash guys.
Did we, just add to that, at a $300 annual fee?
Much better. So we'll find budget for this year.
Yeah, we have that kind of money.
Make sure it goes in one of our technology. projects.
So I'll work with him to get this, a live version, because
Yeah.
it's just a version for us to be able to look at it.
Yeah.
And then, I'll go ahead and work with Lindsay and Sarah to have that link available on our website.
And likewise, let's send it to, Steve Royer, or whoever who delegates to get it on
Okay.
the town website.
Yeah.
Want to have a one-stop shop for this thing, so people don't have to go to the school website to find stuff.
Want to do the towns?
What's that?
Maybe you want to do the towns too.
That's very reasonable.
That's
not our problem.
we've already gone down that path.
Same bridge.
So when I send that to you, maybe Sarah can communicate with you. I can do that.
Okay, we are on privilege of the floor too. All right, how you doing?
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really have anything, the thing that I need to talk to Wiley about something else. Curious about, our, check-in desk, it's just kind of like falling apart on one side. I don't know if it's something that needs to be addressed by the school board anytime soon, or something that we need to look ahead for, another.
Yeah, so
Two.
from a split of town school, the school wants to have all the facility issues, not the staffing issues, for the rec, but the facility issues for the rec. It just makes this building, we know what this building costs.
What's happened to the desk? I'm sorry.
Just on the side of this check-in desk, it's just starting to really fall apart on the side. It's pretty old. And, there's been talk for a long time about replacing it, and it's just not very user-friendly on our side. But now it's just starting to sort of delaminate.
Oh, Steve.
Yeah, so, you can look at it on your way out. It's worse. And, I'm not asking for it to be done right away. I'm just trying to look ahead and see what would be the game plan for getting that into a budget.
Yeah, you guys. Folks.
Yeah.
I don't know, see, that's what I don't know, is if I should even go down that road, or if that should be the facility.
Yeah.
The SAU 48 facility.
Right,
To come.
because we oversee the building, so what I need to do is have, Kyle Soma and
Yeah.
Mark Everett put this on their radar for
Okay.
them to come off and when
Okay,
they meet with Lindsay next, because they usually meet with her, pretty regularly, stop over and see what that is and
Right.
start getting a quote.
and there might be just something that they've done in other places that would just be streamlining what they wanna do here, I don't know. I don't have any grand ideas for it, I just see
Yeah.
that it needs attention.
No, I think it's good to get it on the radar, right?
I will let you know
Okay,
when they come, like,
okay, yeah,
prior to the.
sounds good, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Perfect.
Rich?
Nope, I don't have anything. Thank you.
Then I'm going to move us, do we have to?
We have a correspondence item.
We're not done yet.
So, we have received the full auditing report that is done by our certified public accountant. Usually you get a abridged version, which you'll get at the end of the school year. But this report has to be submitted. So I'm requesting your signature. There's already 2 signatures on this, which is Superintendent Welsh and then Dan Rossner as well.
Should I read it out loud?
If I could just summarize, said, make sure they know that everything was clean, there's no concerns at all, which is what you typically see. But we need a signature on that so that I could submit that.
Just back to the CIP, facilities that is here, and I just followed up and laid out. But they need.
Correct, there's not much that we can do to the playground. So, we're going to enjoy what we have and continue to use backup skills. And those desks, folks, it would be really nice
You just mentioned.
to get like a larger play area for the kids to use, structure, swings, but we just don't have the square footage out there in order to do that. So what we would be putting in would be beneficial to the students who are currently using it, but not beneficial to all of the students who are out there. Like, we could put 2 swings. So it just, I think would cause more of a problem than actually help, unfortunately. So we'll just continue to use Packard's Field. They have great playground structure and we'll.
Okay.
But yeah,
Mentioned it a few times.
yeah, then I looked at quotes and I talked with Kyle and Mark and it was just kind of one of those like. We can't make land. So instead of just kind of continually push it through. We just kind of.
I wonder. The athletic club currently has no plans for their land.
We went through this.
I understand, but they might let us use that land unless or until they need it or want it.
So they do let us use that land. Yeah, we've
Then
used
never
it for
mind.
tapping trees and we've used it for a middle school project on forest fires. So they do let us use it, but
We want to build.
we don't build a big structure onto it.
Okay.
No, they've been really good about. Letting us use that.
Like I said, you know, look pretty simple.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
express street, so,
Yeah,
okay, I just wanna make sure we didn't miss something.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
Hey, and do we have non-public?
We don't. No.
what was the correspondence?
I don't think so.
I haven't signed the audit.
The audit
Oh.
report that we hadn't signed.
You want a copy?
Well, I want a copy, I read enough of that crap.
The next meeting, we will be doing a draft one of the budget as well as have the dates. I normally give you the dates for the budget hearing. I don't have them solidified yet. They're currently with our lawyer to verify that we're meeting all the requirements for postings and all that, so.
And we should make sure that we coordinate with the town on this. We'd like to be
Lockstep.
back to back.
Okay, yep, so do you want me, when I get the dates to run them by you, to see if there's any questions on them?
Steve? Steve? Who? You're.
Yep, that's fine. Yep, Steve will be fine. Just run the dates by.
Because we want to have, we typically have had the school go first, the town go second. And then, when it comes to the vote, the school goes first, the town goes second. And then, if we can get them on the same week, that helps.
Oh,
people
yeah.
travel.
We're not planning on having any bonding this year, so why are you looking at me in that tone of voice?
No, nothing. Oh, I don't have any.
So, no, but I mean, if you're doing bonding, you have other dates you have to consider and all the rest of that crap.
Nope, yes,
I
you're
don't
right,
mean crap, you know what I mean?
absolutely.
Okay, motion to adjourn the meeting?
So.
So seconded.
Any discussion? I get that from Rich. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Excited to see this up on YouTube.